obviously when the opportunity comes about, I'm sure it's just sheer excitement at first, but is there any process along the way? You're like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
You know, when I first heard I had the fight, I was walking into a gym to lift weights, and then I got a phone call. I was like, oh shit, never mind the weights, I need to run. So I went and did a 5-mile run. I was running through downtown Toronto, nearly got run over about 20 times by cars because I was running through the streets. By the time I'd finished the run, I'd calmed down. And listen, I've worked a lifetime for this, you know, and you know, 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 weeks, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm ready. I look after myself. My weight's great. I'm in great condition. I was initially worried about my cardio, of course, but you know, it wasn't that long ago I just beat Anderson Silva. I'm constantly fighting 5-round fights, so the conditioning is built in, so it's there. I just had to harness it. It came back real fast. The weight fell off. I'm ready to go. I get to punch Luke Rockhold in the face. I get to become world champion. I'm a happy man. There ain't no processing, you know. I'm happy.
Did you do anything before you said yes? I mean, was there like a couple of rounds or a practice, or we gotta consider this? Or
I was walking through a mall. I was filming that movie in Toronto. I was walking through a mall buying some presents for my kids because I'd been away for a while, and I started seeing messages that, you know, Weidman had pulled out, and I was like, what? So I messaged Dana. I said, listen, if this is true, I'm in. You know, and he sent a picture of Lorenzo doing this with a big smile, and that's exactly what he said. I can show you the picture. And then he said, listen, Jacare's first option. If not, we'll call you. So I honestly thought, this ain't going to go ahead. There's no way Jacare turns it down. It's a world title offer fight on a silver platter. He turned it down. There you go.
Does the fact that you've got this in short notice almost, in some ways, take the pressure off you? If you had a big long camp, you'd have this weighing on your mind.
Absolutely. The reason it's a short camp, it's just come out of the blue. There's no pressure. Listen, I know I'm expected to lose. I know everybody's got me as the underdog, but I don't see myself as the underdog. I'm performing amazingly, as if I've done a full camp, but I'm fresh, I'm explosive, I'm strong. Whenever I start my training camps, I always feel like this, and then by the end of 8 weeks, I've learned now because this is the first time I've had a short notice fight. This is the way to do it, to look after yourself and then turn it up. I had 2.5 weeks of intense work. I feel fantastic. I feel strong. I feel explosive. I've got no injuries, and I'm still. My nervous system is still firing. A lot of the times, 8 weeks, you know, it's a long time, and because it means so much to me, because I train so hard, I drive myself into the floor. You know, I'm coming in there fresh, believe you me. Look at me, now it's a fat on me. I don't need 8 weeks.
Michael, Weidman said yesterday that he gave Rockhold the gift by pulling out of the fight and having you step in. What do you say to that?
Well, Chris Weidman is a very bitter individual. For somebody that spouts on about Jesus and this and that, he needs to, you know, he just needs to take a step back and go read the Bible some more and take heed to his own words, because don't be bitter. He hurt himself. Simple as that. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't hurt his neck. Did I hurt his neck?
I don't think so.
So fuck all to do with me, pal. Weidman, sort your shit out and come back. When I beat Luke Rockhold, Weidman can be my first defense, and I'll shut that asshole up once and for all.
For us in the media, the storyline for you has always been, you've been chasing a title for so long, you haven't got it. How much have you thought about it, and how much have you thought about this moment, you know, throughout your career?
I thought I'd get the title shot after beating Anderson. Of course, I know Weidman and Rockhold were already scheduled. I thought I'd be the next guy. I understand why they went with Jacare. I do. He just fought last week. He had a big win against Vitor Belfort. It makes sense. I'm just happy. I'm relieved. You know, I've been going for this long, and here it is. I get my title shot, and I believe the short camp will be beneficial. And I just think, I've said it before, and I know these words are cheesy, you know, but I do believe it's my destiny. When I was 8 years old, when I first put gloves on, I knew I would be world champion one day. And I've worked tirelessly. You have no idea how hard I worked. That's why I can take fights on 2 weeks' notice. I look after myself. I've had 26 fights in the UFC. I've had over 40 professional fights. I've had God knows how many kickboxing matches, jiu-jitsu tournaments. I won the silver medal in jiu-jitsu when I was 16 years old in New Zealand. This is a lifetime's work. This is not an accident. I am not here because, you know, because Jacare didn't want to take the fight. I'm here because I am the #1 contender. I'm the logical matchup. Rockhold has a victory. I get to get revenge at that, and I get to be world champion all at the same time. This is amazing.
You talk about destiny. I mean, does it feel kind of magical, the two things you always wanted, were Anderson Silva and a title shot?
Yeah,
Now they're happening.
I wanted Anderson Silva when he was the champion. Still, a win is a win. Now I get my title shot. It's in my backyard. Listen, it's on just over 2 weeks' notice. If this was in London, it'd be a different scenario. This is perfect. I'm able to train every day. I can sleep in my own bed. I can eat all my correct foods. As I say, everything's perfect. The conditions are perfect. I feel good. I feel great. My energy levels are high. My weight is perfect. Rockhold, I know Rockhold. I know what he's capable of. I know he's a very, very good fighter. But the opponent isn't important. This is about me. This is about me fulfilling my destiny. And whether or not it's Luke Rockhold, Muhammad Ali, Godzilla, it doesn't matter. It's going to take a bullet to the brain to stop me on Saturday night.
Fighters are going to have
2 weeks of conditioning, but you were filming a major blockbuster movie, Hollywood blockbuster movie. I have to imagine they wanted you in peak condition for that.
Yeah, listen, you know, I'm very vain. I want to, you know, I've got the best face, so at least I've got to try and look good. So I was trying to keep the weight low. I was lifting a lot of weights, which incidentally has helped my power. So I was running, I was lifting weights. I was hitting pads with a guy called Jorge Blanco, who's a great striking coach, works with GSP and Rashad Evans. So, you know, listen, I was keeping my hand in it. And as I say before, this is a lifetime's work. I don't need to go away and learn how to punch. You know, I know how to do that. And the thing is, like Jason Perillo, my coach, always says, the physicalities have always been there. You can only tell a guy so many times to kick a certain way, to punch a certain way. After a while, none of that's important. What's important is this, you know, and I made real leaps and bounds with that. In the Anderson fight, that was evident. You know, in the past, I've been very emotional. I've been a bad-tempered bastard. I know I have. I'm a very emotional person, but I've learned that, you know, when you're fighting, you're never the best. If you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're in a frantic state of mind, you're never the best version of yourself. So how on earth can you go out there and fight to the best of your ability? You know, so, yeah.
I don't know offhand. What elevation is Toronto?
I don't think there's any, is it? I don't know. It's by a lake. I know it's not sea level, but it's by a lake.
Michael, fighters are going to have the
Sorry, I didn't mean
to weigh in on.
I hope it was. 5,000.
Fighters will be able to weigh in on Friday morning for this fight. Will you take advantage of that, and why, if so?
I will take advantage of weighing in at 10 o'clock simply because there's more time to rehydrate. You know, that makes sense. My opponent will do the same thing, so really there's no advantages there. I just think it's better for the overall well-being of the fighters. I think it's much, much safer.
Even though the talent is...
Last question, guys.
Is 2 weeks really enough for a 5-round fight?
Hey, I've said it before, 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 days. I don't care. Half of this UFC roster are pussies. They wouldn't take this fight. Jacare wouldn't take this fight. Makes me sick. I'll fight anyone, anytime, any place. I've just proved that. I took a fight on 2 weeks' notice. I'm going to walk off a movie set. I'm going to walk into that octagon. I'm going to take Luke Rockhold's belt. He's going to lie on the floor. He's going to wake up looking at the stars and think, fuck, this guy just beat me on 2 weeks' notice.